Have you seen all the YouTube videos about Etsy being a great place to earn some extra money with digital product? Do you want to get in on the action? Are you anxious to get going and want to start right away? Stop now. I've sold thousands of digital products and I still manage to maintain a 5.0 average rating and consistently qualify as a star seller. Let me guide you through finding your niche all the way through knowing what to sell and what steps to take before opening your shop. Starting up a new Etsy shop is easy and I won't go through that with you here. However, before you actually set up your shop, there are a few things you should take into consideration. If you really want to treat this as a business, and you should, you need to have a pretty focused approach to your shop. So without further ado, here are 5 things to think about before starting up your digital Etsy shop. And if you stick around until the end, I have a gift for you which will help you with your new store and save you some money. Step number 1. Finding your niche. With literally millions of Etsy shops out there, the mere thought of getting into that crowded place might feel a bit intimidating. Where do I start, for example? The beauty of Etsy, however, is its diversity. For every type of interest or hobby out there, you can find a category and a subcategory of Etsy shops. This is where your niche decision comes in. I honestly do recommend you think of a hobby that you can relate to and then go to Etsy and simply search for that hobby. Then start drilling down even further. For example, cross-stitching. Search for cross-stitch. Then take it one more step. Cross-stitch patterns. Look at that. There's a bunch of listings here and a bunch of shops focusing on patterns for cross-stitching. And shops. Are you still intimidated? If you want, you can take it down one more step. Cross-stitch patterns for beginners. While I'm not trying to tell you to go start a cross-stitch patterns shop, it's a good example of a not-so-saturated niche where you can walk in today without getting lost. My point with this first step is that you find a specific niche to focus on so that you can easily crack on towards product creation. Be focused. Don't spread yourself out across multiple niches at this stage. Step number 2. Research your competition. Now that you've decided on a niche, start doing some research on what products are being offered in that niche. The easiest way to do this is simply by going to Etsy, type in some search phrases relating to your niche, and go from there. The important thing to do when researching a niche is to see what makes certain sellers so successful. You do this by focusing on the best-selling shops and checking their listings. For example, if we stick to the cross-stitch pattern stores, what are the most popular ones doing right? Well, looking at this, the thumbnails for one are showing clear examples of their finished products. They also show what's included in the download package, as well as examples of what the actual print file looks like. Conclusion: thumbnails are key. Now check their reviews. What do customers like about these products and what do they not like? What about the description? Again, lots of important niche-specific information. For cross-stitch patterns, we need to think about different sizes of the patterns, thread lengths, etc. Not to make this a video about cross-stitch patterns, but you get the idea. Niche-specific information that you'd only know if you understood the end user. This is a very important lesson. Understand your end user. Step number 3. Deep dive into your niche using a research tool like Sales Samurai or eRank. Now we've delved into the existing shops and checked their products and their listings. So let's move on to the next step towards creating killer listings of your own and help on deciding which products to create within that niche. I use 2 online services, Sales Samurai and eRank, to do a couple of things. Investigate product viability by checking on things like search volume, get ideas for my own products, and to find the best keywords for my listing. I also use them to spy on my competition and to come up with keywords and tags for my listings based on what people are searching for on Etsy. Sales Samurai is a great service that I absolutely recommend to everyone who's serious about their Etsy business. eRank, which has a free plan, can do some of the same, and I always check on both to get some insights into my competition, but also to get advice on my own listings. Step number 4. Create at least 10 listings before opening your store. This might sound intimidating, but I strongly advise you to create at least 10 listings that are ready to go before launching your store. This is because once you start up, you want to start with A, a few different items, and B, the ability to trickle launch some items during the coming few days. Etsy loves new listings and will give your items more exposure in search for the first couple of days because they're new. This is absolute key, as getting visibility means likeliness to sell, and if you sell your item, you get relisted right away, so it could become a great endless loop if your listing gets popular. Having a rolling listing launch as opposed to putting everything out there at once and then wait means you won't peak and die out, but instead keep the fire lit with Etsy, keeping your listings and therefore your shop in the limelight for a while. Again, I understand that having to come up with 10 products before you even start might sound a bit daunting, but believe me, it will help you in the long run. Remember, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Of the 10 products, I would stock your store with 5 to 6 of them and then launch a new product every 2 days with the remaining ones. Step number 5. Create a brand. To create a following on Etsy once you're live, having a distinct branding that makes your thumbnails recognizable and stand out will definitely help you in the long run. Getting that sorted before you launch will mean you get a great start. You want to create a shop icon and a banner for your Etsy store. While you could always go to a place like Fiverr, I really recommend getting Canva and playing around with it. Not only will it help you in other parts of your business, it's great to use for thumbnail creation for example, but creating your own branding can be a fun and very rewarding experience. Canva also helps you come up with color schemes and which fonts to use, so it can really make even the graphically challenged feel like proper graphics designers. With your branding, I suggest connecting with your niche. Going back to the cross-stitching niche, for example. Try to incorporate things from that niche into your logo design, and again, using Canva, try add some of the elements to get it right. There are plenty of great free graphics for you to use in your logos and banners. So, what about this free gift? At the beginning I mentioned I have something that will make your startup a little easier, especially financially. Etsy normally charges 20 cents for each new listing, but if you follow the link in my description to open your shop, your first 40 listings will be free. This is a great way to get started and try out some listings without feeling you have to pay up right away. So check out the description of this video, click the link labeled 40 free listings. The offer is only valid when opening a new shop. If you're also interested in testing out Canva Pro, there's a link in my description that gives you a 45-day trial to Canva Pro, their paid membership. Can't recommend it enough. Canva makes creating thumbnails, banners, Instagram posts, and Pinterest posts a breeze. And last but not least, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe as it helps keep me motivated to making more videos.